Welcome back to the channel. Today is video number 2 in the Norlite series. The last one was the Japanese washi paper dial. This one is going to be their Northern Lights dial. That's what I'm calling it because when you see the lume on this watch, and I'm sure you saw it on the thumbnail, it is just bright and brilliant, like the Northern Lights that I can enjoy here in Alaska. Not everybody can, but if you want to enjoy them at least a little bit on the dial of a watch, this one is going to be for you. Now, this is part of a Kickstarter campaign. Check out the link down below, and let's hop into the video. And this is going to be number 2 of the Norlite collection that I've done so far. I will leave a card up here in a corner somewhere. Now, just like the washi paper dial I did in the last video, each one comes in a watch roll, which is really nice to see. Because when you travel, normally you take more than one watch. This allows you 3 places to place watches if you want to travel. It also comes with a different leather strap here, also a NATO strap here, and a warranty card also within the watch roll. We're going to get this out of the way because I'm more interested in this watch right here. Now, when I first looked at the Norlite watches, this one caught my eye the most, and that's because of what is hidden in the dial. I say hidden in the dial because you can still see the shadowing right there, and that is going to be the lume that I'm going to show you closer to the end. This thing is just going to pop. Really love the blue. The blue is very popular in the last couple years with the Tiffany blue or the Robin's egg blue or whatever you want to call it, but it just looks great. Now, this also has a sapphire dial on it, so it's going to give it kind of a 3-dimensional look. Now, this thing comes in a 316L surgical stainless steel case, so the case is upgraded. 39.5 millimeters in diameter, case thickness of 12 millimeters, and this thing, because it's high polish, is going to be a fingerprint magnet, but really not that big a deal. The lug-to-lug on this is going to be 46.5, so it's going to fit most wrists perfectly. We'll do a wrist shot at the very end, and the lug width on this is going to be 20 millimeters, so it's going to fit nearly any strap, to include a chase strap, which are coming on sale Black Friday. Check it out, link down below. Now, again, this is a 316L surgical steel high polished case. It does have brushing along the top, high polished bezel, and the bracelet itself is going to be a 5-link bead bracelet. It's going to be both brushed on the outside. It's going to be high polished on the 3 on the inside. And this thing tapers from 20 all the way down to 18 on a milled and pressed clasp. So it's pressed on the top, milled on the bottom, fold over clasp with double pushers for safety and 5 micro adjustment links. On the underside or the back side of the watch that we see here, the case back is going to have the Northern Lights, and it's going to display the Miyota 9039 movement in the back. This thing offers 100 meters of water resistance. Sapphire dial, you can see right here, it's a Miyota 9039. Let's go ahead and talk about the movement inside. One of the things that I love about MMI, which is different than a lot of micro brands, is the fact that they use the correct movements in their watches. A lot of people will use an NH35 or something. It'll have a date wheel behind the dial that it doesn't have a date. They use the proper movement in this, so there's no ghost date position. Now, the Miyota 9039 in here vibrates at 28,800 vibrations an hour, so it's a high beat movement, which means the second hand ticks at 8 ticks a second. This thing does have 42 hours of power reserve. The accuracy is plus or minus 10 seconds to plus 30 seconds a day, and the movement is just extremely smooth. Again, 100 meters of water resistance, no screw down crown, just a push crown. And the crown, from what I'm told, is going to be about 1.5 millimeters larger because this is a prototype watch. So you're going to have a little bit bigger crown and it's going to have just a little more grip. I don't think it's too bad right now. It does seem slightly small, but overall, I think the watch is done quite nicely. Now the dial does have a piece of sapphire glass over it, and okay. Let's just talk about what makes this watch so great. First, let's talk about the hands. Really big fan of the hands. I love the way they did the hands. They're not indicative of any homage out there, and MMI is not an homage watch, which is really great. I'm really sick and tired of the Pagani designs, the San Martins. MMI is unique. They did the indices, the 12, the 2, the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 10. Those are all even numbers, which you rarely see. Most people do the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9 as odd numbers, and it's really nice that they did something just slightly different. Really sharp arrows on the 1, the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9, and the 11. Really sharp, and you can see that there's pips that are opposite of those arrows and numerals. Really cool to see. Now, let's talk about the lume on this watch. Now, this is called the Norlight for a reason. I live here in Alaska, so I am privy to see the northern lights in the wintertime, right? And you can see that there's almost a shadowing effect of the northern lights that's printed just beyond that sapphire piece of glass. I'm going to show you guys what this thing looks like with the lights off in just a minute, and you guys are going to be just amazed. Most people don't do loomed dials. This thing just screams northern lights when I shut off the lights. So let's go ahead and see what this thing looks like in the dark. And just look at how that shines. Just beautiful. I think they did a damn good job creating this watch, especially with the blue, the ghost kind of halo of the northern lights that you can see in the light. It does have a piece of single domed sapphire glass that covers that dial, air coating on the underside. Just a beautiful piece of machinery. Overall, what is your impression of this watch? Now, everything from the case, the bracelet, is the exact same on all three watches. The only thing that's different is how it's presented to you as the wearer, whether it's a washi paper dial, whether or not it's like the Northern Lights dial, or whether or not it's the next video, which is the sapphire transparent dial. Now, the last watch is the only one that features a date in their classic MMI date wheel around the dial. If you guys are interested in that, check out that next video. Still a cool watch. I love the fact that they're using surgical steel for the case and bracelet. I love the fact that they're using that 5-link bead bracelet. It's just so comfortable. You can't even know until you try it on just how comfortable it is. A lot of people will say the Oyster case or the Oyster bracelet is the most comfortable. It is not even close. This is far more comfortable than something like an Oyster bracelet. Anyway, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment of the content you guys would like to see. Really, hitting the subscribe button is a free thing, and it really does help the channel grow and gives me the ability to get more of these reviews in. The like button really does help the algorithm. Guys, for chase straps on Black Friday, there is a 45% off sale. Check out that down in the link below. Also, again, check out the Kickstarter. These things are amazing watches. And also make sure you hit that notification bell because I have a lot of videos coming out. At least one video every single day till the end of the year. A lot of good stuff coming up in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one.